Hi, how you doing? Just going to start doing my bike build, and I've done some stuff on the frame already. Put some protection on the frame. You won't be able to see. I've took some photos, but mainly sort of down here for stone chips, and then across the top here I'll put some on for when I carry bags so it doesn't rub the frame. Put some on here as well, so when the back wheel's in and you get the stones and the gravel hit this, it's not touching the frame. And also then finally I'll put some here for the chain slap, and this piece here is a bit thicker than the rest. And then the only place to put it other than that is when the bike's built, is to put it where the cables will rub. So that's what I've done at the moment. And what I want to do today, try and balance it there. I want to put the bottom bracket in, so that goes down here. And then I want to do the headset, which is the bearings here. Essentially, they're the same thing. So in this end here, you've got one end full of grease, but it's got bearings in. And then in this end here is the bearings that go around. So these go into the frame at the bottom, okay, and then that will sit in there once you push it in. And your crankset goes through the middle. But once this is in, it's basically it's a bearing this side, a bearing this side, and a tube, and that's essentially what the head tube is. It's the same kind of setup: bearings at the top, bearings at the bottom, and your steerer fork goes through that. So although they are different and they do different aspects on the bike, they're essentially the same kind of thing, bearings either side. So that's what I want to do today, put that in, talk you through that if you've not seen it done before. Okay, so this is the bottom bracket, and you can see, hopefully you can see, look quickly, yeah, it's threaded here. And if you look at this, there's threads on this as well, and it does tell you which way to tighten on the screw things. I always use a bit of grease in these, because normally a thread on a thread, non-moving part, then you wouldn't need a bit of grease on, but the grease is really for help to get the thing back out again. So let's put a bit of grease on there. I'll probably put a bit much in, but it just helps you when you come to take the bottom bracket out, helps you to remove it. And again on here, don't need to put any grease on there. So you can see I just slide this in. This has got the barrel on, and you just slide it in, locate it, and screw it in. There's a bit of lock thread on there as well, so it's going to get a bit stiff there. It's okay. And then this is all in for the Holotech, so you just slot that on. And again, if I show you on this one, actually you can see it's got the grooves on there, so it slots into that, holds it tight. Okay, so wrong way. So just gently tighten this up, and it'll sit on the frame. And this is a torque wrench, so this will go into about, I've set it at about 35 Newton meters. Obviously the bottom bracket is where you do a lot of pedalling, so it takes a lot of the strain when you're riding, put all your power through the bottom bracket, so this helps you to unstick it, basically, because they can get a bit tight in there. And again, tighten this up the way of the arrow. So you can see that one there's done up nice and tight. There we go, and that is the bottom bracket done. Stage 1 complete. One thing I will recommend everyone to do, get yourself one of these books. This is the best book by Park Tool on bike repairs. This is the 3rd edition. I've got the 4th edition as well, and it covers everything. So although I know what I'm doing with the bike, I always do check and double check, and this is about 20 quid, and it's the best 20 quid you'll ever spend. So, day 2, another day. I went this morning and got my my crown race put on by the local bike shop, so thank you Matt, helped me out a load there. So I'll be doing the headset now. And all it is similar to the bottom bracket where there's bearings, so you've got a bearing that sits on there, then you have your that space, and then this goes at the top of that, another set of bearings, and then you clamp it all together. I'm probably going to have to cut the head tube, yeah, this tube has to be cut, so it's going to stick proud, but I will, I've got give myself a good saw to do that. But I just want to get the headset in and check out my spacers and see if I need to buy any more little bits and pieces. So the first thing to do is put some grease in. Sit the bearings in properly. So here we go, daubing some grease in there for the bearings to sit on. Keep it nice and lubricated. I don't know whether you can put too much grease in. I think because I'm going to be doing off-roady stuff on my aggressive gravel bike, I think more grease than less is probably, because it'll get washed out at some point. Okay, so these bearings here sit in there nice and snug. There you go. Good little fit. That. And then just put some around the crown. And this is the grease that tends to get washed out more, so let's put some grease in the top as well, because that's where the next set of bearings go. And we'll get those in. I know you can't see this, I'm not going to turn it around just for this little thing. It's all do the one side. Let's sit that bearing in there. So I was doing my headset, and I needed spacers and things and a few bits and pieces. I got a bit carried away, so I totally dismantled my gravel bike, so I am now gravel bike less, probably for the month of May. This frame's going to get cleaned up and probably resprayed at some point, but I'm going to just hang it on the wall for a while, use some of the parts to make up my new gravel bike, and hopefully in a very short space of time have a good bike to ride. It's quite scary having it in bits.